The cameras erupted in blinding flashes, a storm of light that mirrored the storm of voices crashing over him. Questions flew like arrows, sharp and relentless, each one piercing the thin shield of composure he had worn for years. And once again, Sam Heughan found himself cornered by the one topic he has spent nearly a decade trying to outrun: marriage. No matter the stage, no matter the occasion, no matter the honor he had just earned, the same question always rose above the noise. When will Sam Heughan finally get married? On this day, the weight of it pressed down more heavily than ever. At first, Sam responded as he always had, with that disarming smile, a soft laugh, and a vague line about seeing what the future holds. But the interrogation did not end there. Journalists circled tighter. Fans shouted from the sidelines, and the whispers that had trailed him since Outlander first premiered grew deafening in the moment. And then, in a flash of raw honesty, unlike anything he had ever shown, Sam snapped. He leaned into the microphone, his voice cutting through the chaos, sharp and unshakable. "I don't want to get married. Leave me alone." The words detonated in the room like thunder rolling across a still sky. For a man celebrated for his diplomacy, his wit, his perfectly measured answers, this was not a polished response. It was blunt, frustrated, impossible to twist or misinterpret. In a single sentence, Sam shattered years of speculation and tore back the curtain on a truth he had carried silently for far too long. To grasp why this moment shook his fandom so violently, one must return to the storm that has shadowed Sam's private life ever since Outlander catapulted him into global stardom. From the first season, his portrayal of Jamie Fraser set a new standard for romance on screen. Jamie wasn't just a character, he became an ideal, the fantasy husband millions projected onto Sam himself. Viewers wanted Jamie's devotion, Jamie's passion, Jamie's eternal love. And in their hearts, they demanded that Sam live up to that script in real life. The result, a tidal wave of obsession. Every co-star he smiled beside, every woman photographed in his orbit, was instantly branded a possible bride. Tabloids churned out endless headlines. Sam's secret engagement, Heughan Hyde's mystery lover. Online communities sprang up devoted to decoding his every move, analyzing his body language, weaving theories from shadows. Some insisted he must be secretly in love with Katrina Balfe, his on-screen partner, ignoring her marriage to Tony McGill, and spun conspiracy theories that blurred fiction and reality. Through it all, Sam tried to be gracious. He laughed, he teased, he dodged invasive questions with a diplomat's ease. He believed that silence would suffocate the frenzy. Instead, it fed it. Every non-answer became evidence. Every smile was dissected as a nervous tell. The quieter he remained, the louder the rumors grew. Behind the charm, though, was exhaustion. Friends close to Sam whispered of the toll. Relationships ended not because of incompatibility, but because women in his life couldn't endure the harassment that came with being linked to him. Fans crossed dangerous lines, harassing anyone believed to be too close. Some even targeted his family, clawing into private details that should never have been dragged into the public sphere. It was only a matter of time before the pressure cracked him. And when it did, it came in the form of that unfiltered statement, simple, sharp, unignorable. "I don't want to get married. Leave me alone." In that instant, he wasn't Jamie Fraser, the romantic hero adored by millions. He wasn't the flawless figure plastered across fantasy. He was just Sam, tired human, and demanding to be seen as such. His words were more than a refusal of marriage. They were a refusal of constant invasion. The aftermath was electric. The audience gasped. Social media erupted. Some fans wept heartbroken. "I've followed him for 10 years, dreaming of the day he'd announce a wedding," one woman sobbed into her phone camera. "Now he says he doesn't even want it. My heart is shattered." Others turned furious, accusing him of ingratitude. If it weren't for us, one bitter comment read, he wouldn't even have this career. The least he could do is not spit on our dreams. But a flood of supporters rose in his defense. They flooded his pages with messages like, "Your life, your choice. We love you no matter what. Thank you for finally setting boundaries." For them, Sam's defiance was refreshing, even heroic. A moment of raw humanity slicing through years of PR gloss. The media wasted no time amplifying the chaos. Tabloids spun it into screaming headlines, "Sam Heughan rejects, marriage once and for all." "Outlander star tells fans to back off." Talk shows debated the fallout. Some praised his bravery. Others warned he risked alienating the very fandom that built him. And of course, his words reignited old speculation. For years, his bachelorhood had fueled rumors, secret romances, hidden heartbreaks, even darker theories. Now, with his sharp rejection of marriage, people asked, was this truly choice, or was it pain in disguise? Once again, Caitriona Balfe's name was dragged into the storm. Despite being happily married, her name trended alongside his. If Sam doesn't want to marry, maybe it's because he already has Caitriona in his heart, one fan mused. Others defended her fiercely, reminding everyone she had her own family and deserved peace. Yet the damage was done. She was entangled in his narrative yet again. Behind closed doors, insiders speculated what his words might mean for his image. Hollywood thrives on the fairy tale ending on weddings families happily ever after. By rejecting that fantasy, was Sam risking being seen as cold? Or, as some argued, was he finally showing an authenticity fans had been starving for? For Sam, it was never about optics. It was about survival. His words were not a rejection of love itself, but of the suffocating prison built from expectation. "Leave me alone" was not just for the reporters in the room. It was for the years of harassment, the theft of his privacy, the reduction of his humanity into a character others wanted him to be. But the question lingers, what now? Will Sam retreat deeper into privacy, refusing interviews that touch on marriage? Or will he embrace his declaration as a mantra, a boundary no one can cross again? One thing is certain, his words have forever altered the conversation. The dream of Sam Heughan's wedding, the fantasy that tabloids and fans alike fed upon, is dead. In its place stands something messier, but truer, a man unwilling to be defined by others' expectations. And yet the irony is cruel. By demanding to be left alone, Sam has ignited more attention than ever before. His honesty, the very truth he hoped would silence speculation, has become the loudest headline of all. The fandom may be shaken, the press relentless, but one truth remains: Sam Heughan has spoken, and the world will never see him in quite the same way again. Because sometimes the most shocking statement is not a scandal nor a secret. Sometimes it is the courage of a man under siege to say, with all the weight of years behind him, "No, enough. This is my life." But perhaps this is not an ending at all. In shattering the illusion, Sam may have begun something far greater, a reclamation of self. For years, the world has tried to script his life, demanding he play not just Jamie Fraser, but the perfect husband, the fantasy lover, the man who belonged to everyone but himself. With one unflinching declaration, he tore that script apart. What comes next will not be written by tabloids, nor by the whispers of fans, but by Sam alone. Whether he chooses solitude or love silence, or openness marriage or no marriage at all, it will be on his own terms. And maybe in time, the same fans who once dreamed of his wedding will come to see that this is the braver, truer story. Not a fairy tale of castles and rings, but of a man who dared to say no to the world in order to say yes to himself. Because the truth is simple, yet powerful: freedom is not the absence of love, but the ability to define love and life on one's own terms. And as Sam Heughan steps forward into that future unbound and unafraid, the world will be watching, but this time perhaps with a little more understanding.